Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to make two different pop-up backgrounds. We have what I like to call the tab method because we take a little tab and pop it out into a rectangular prism that we can either put things in front of and make a pop-up that stands out from the background or turn it into a piece of our scenery. The second way that we're going to learn pop-ups is the room method. It looks kind of like a room with a floor and two walls. So let's get started with the room method first. You're going to need a sheet of paper, some scissors, and glue. For this one, you won't need the crayon. You're going to start by laying your paper sideways. With one hand on the side, we take the other hand and roll the paper so it meets on the other side. Try and get it as accurate as possible to the edges of the paper. Fold it and then go over with your fingernail to seal the crease and make it extra sharp. Next, we're going to open it back up and fold it from the bottom to the top. Hold my hand down and fold it this way. Again, trying to make it as accurate and close to the sides as possible. Seal with the finger and then move on to the fingernail. When we open our paper, it'll look like one big plus sign in the center. We are going to cut on the line from the bottom here, just up to the center, and stop. Try and keep it as straight as possible. And when you're finished with that, you'll be left with something that looks like a pair of pants. Then, take your two pant legs and hold them up, sort of like they're sitting down. Then, we're going to take one leg, lift it, and cross it over the other until it touches this edge. Crease this just a little more, and you have your fantastic room. Now, because we were working with a rectangular piece of paper, you have these edges on the side. If you would like to, you can take an extra sheet of paper, tuck it in the corner, and cut it so it adds a square to the bottom and makes it a perfect corner of a cube. Or you can just leave it like this. I'm going to take my glue and with just a few dots, if my glue is going to work, come on. And with just a few dots, go around the side and the inside. Here I have my most basic room. The next technique is our tab technique. For this, we're going to take a regular sheet of paper and hold it up vertically, so portrait style. We're going to take the bottom and bring it up about so we have half at the top and half at the bottom. Again, making sure that the edges are lined up. Since we have 1/3 here, 1/3 here, and 1/3 at the bottom, we have 2/3 for our background and 1/3 for our floor. Make sure you know where the line of the crease is and fold it back up. We're going to make our tab by taking two fingers and figuring out where on our artwork we want our tab. Use my left hand. I think I want mine a little off to the side of the center. I'm going to take any marking tool and just make two lines, one on each side. It's important that they're the same length so they flip out properly. The taller the lines, the further out from the back it's going to pop up. Even if your lines aren't perfectly even, that's okay. We're simply going to snip on both sides, trying to keep them as close to the same size as possible. And once we have our two cuts, we're going to take our little tab and flip it up, sealing with our fingernails. We're going to turn the whole thing over and flip our tab to the back. This way we're creasing the paper in both directions so we can have it pop out more easily. Next, I flip it back to the front and put my tab back where it belongs. This next step, we're going to slide our hand under the tab and make a C shape with our fingers. Each finger goes above and below our cuts, while our index finger from the other side comes from the back and pushes our tab outwards. I want you to see that crease and pinch it. And finally, we close our crease, folding it here. When we open it, we have our wonderful tab that hangs out from the back. Now this you can either turn into a piece of furniture or add a drawing to the front so you have something that comes from the back. Now if you want to get a little more advanced with your stuff, you can take your room shaped one and apply the technique we just used. Mine is luckily dry by now, but I can gently fold my corner over a little bit. I'm not pressing down super hard here, so I don't want to crease it, but with 2 snips of the same length, folding it, the whole thing back and forth, and then returning it, making my C shape and scooping from the back, I can then have a pop out inside of my little room. You can also try to add things like doors or windows by gently pinching wherever you want that to go or wherever you want a hole. So you can put a little snip with your scissors. From there, we can put one edge of our scissors in and cut our shapes out. It's a little difficult, but it's an extra thing you can do to make your artwork super special. Just going to fold that out and ta-da! I've got a window and I've got a little stand here. Good luck!